Followers of the legendary Johnny Genesis North, we are releasing a must-have collection of Johnny North merchandise in our store at merch.ringsidereport.net, starting with our limited edition Johnny Genesis North 3/4 sleeve t-shirt. With a unique design capturing Johnny in action, this tee exudes raw energy and intensity through its versatile 3/4 sleeves for any weather. Stand with our legendary co-host, Johnny North. Make a bold statement in the wrestling community by getting yours today, exclusively at merch.ringsidereport.net.
The discipline of jiu-jitsu, the elegance of a perfect pour. Introducing the jiu-jitsu-inspired shaker pint glass. Crafted for the martial artist in you. 16 ounces of pure elegance, perfect for post-training refreshment or a sophisticated cocktail evening. Durable, stylish, versatile. Not just a glass, but a testament to your dedication. Celebrate your passion with every sip. The Jiu-Jitsu Shaker Pint Glass. Cheers to mastery. Available now in our store. Go to merch.ringsidereport.net and get yours now.
Strength in every sip.
Here's a programming note from the Ringside Report Network. Every Friday, join Dave Simon along with pro wrestler Johnny Genesis North as they break down the week that was pro wrestling on Wrestling Uncensored. Join them live starting after WWE SmackDown and during AEW Rampage at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here, or as an audio podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to share this broadcast and review our podcasts on Apple Podcasts. It really helps us out. Why not become a member of the Ringside Report universe? Go right now before the show starts to membership.ringsidereport.net. That's membership.ringsidereport.net.
Each and every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, dive deep into the heart of MMA with Ringside Report MMA. Join seasoned analysts Dave Simon, Fred Garcia, and my good friend AJ D'Alesio as they dissect every fight, analyze strategies, and reveal their top betting predictions. From main events to prelims, our trio deep dives into the strengths, weaknesses, and potential game changers for each fighter. Looking to place a bet? Benefit from the expertise of our analysts and get an edge over the competition. Discover lesser-known facts, training camp secrets, and behind-the-scenes tidbits that only our seasoned crew can deliver. Share your fight predictions and be featured in the broadcast. For both new fans and longtime MMA aficionados, Ringside Report MMA is the key to unlocking a richer UFC viewing experience. Become an MMA insider. Don't miss out on our exclusive content. Subscribe now and ensure you ring that bell for timely notifications.
Before we dive into today's action-packed broadcast, check out ringsidereport.net. Explore a wide range of exclusive articles and commentary that are specifically designed for the fans of pro wrestling and MMA. Did you miss a broadcast? No worries. We've expanded them all on our website. And don't forget to hit our store for exclusive merch and other must-have items, ringsidereport.net. Where the real action is.
We've got boosted odds coming. Dave's picks, which means I'm going to give you picks, and on the site, it'll say, like, you know, minus 200 or something, but then I'll call my buddies at Bet99. I'll be like, hey, can we give it a little better? And it'll be like minus 150, so there'll be more value. What? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to add value to the picks. We're going to get boosted odds at Bet99 for the Ringside Report universe. For all the viewers, we're going to give you picks, and then we're going to be like, you know, there's a number here on this at Bet99, but maybe wait till Saturday morning, and there'll be a better number because we're going to give you those boosted odds. They're a sponsor, and I want them to do well, and they're helping the show and all of that, but at the same time, I want to give good picks and take them for everything they got, baby. But they got.
Well, that's what it comes down to.
You know what I mean?
Listen,
it's a weird relationship because I'm friendly with them and I want to do well and I want them to do well, but I also want us to do well, and for us to do well, we need to take money from them, which is part of the whole. It's part of the game, and they like it, and it's all fun. So we're gonna get some boosted odds, and we'll see how much we can boost them for the viewers, so we can make a lot of cash. It's UFC 298 preview time. Topuria versus Volkanovski. Ringside Report MMA is live.
Let's go!
Let's go. Where are we going? Only time will tell. Freddie is here. AJ is here.
Dave, I got some breaking news.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Well,
let's hear it.
I'm gonna disappoint both of you guys, but because it has nothing to do with MMA, and it probably has nothing to do with anything you care about. But
that's okay.
As the
That's
show
okay. That sounds
started, Caitlin Clark hit a 3 to become the all-time leading scorer in female basketball in NCAA history, which is kind of a big story. So props to Caitlin Clark.
It is? All right, whatever. I thought it was something good, Freddie.
I mean,
like,
I'm kind of with AJ on that, Fred. Like, I
told you I would disappoint you.
I don't want to disrespect her or anything, but I don't feel like that's a huge story because, I mean, it's a cool record and all, but I've never heard of her until just now. Caitlin Clark? Well, that's cool. I never heard the name until just now. I don't really follow women's college basketball.
Caitlyn Jenner.
But, I mean, I'm sure she's a great athlete, so good for her. Congratulations. Sounds like the Michael Jordan of women's college basketball. Will she go pro? Probably. Will she be awesome? Sounds like it. Number one pick, yeah.
Is that the one that got arrested, Freddie, in Russia? Remember with the whole trans...
Nope.
Was it that girl?
No, AJ. That was somebody else.
I don't know.
AJ really doesn't pay attention. Now, she is the leading scorer in college. That means she probably spent all 4 years.
Exactly.
Thanks.
So, why didn't she go pro last year?
Well, I mean, now in college, guys and girls are allowed to make money. And as far as WNBA, the salaries aren't that high. So I wouldn't be surprised she's making just as much in the NCAA out of sponsorship and all that. So
yeah.
Plus, man, it's not the same thing as the pros, man. Like, I think the highest paid female WNBA players make like 200, 300 grand a year, which is kind of cool. But I mean, do you really want to quit college? Like, you could put that for a year later and still finish college.
Oh my God.
Whereas in the NBA, you're talking about millions. So
I just Googled it, and it said Erica Wheeler of the Indiana Fever had the highest salary among players in the WNBA in 2023 with over $242,000 US. That is crazy.
I wasn't that far.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Low. That's what I'm saying. That's quite low for a professional sports league. I mean, you're making good money for a human, but for a pro athlete.
Dave, as we're dissing this, I'm going to give you your segue to MMA. How many girls in MMA make $200,000 a year? Maybe Amanda Nunes. Who else?
But we're talking about the top. We're talking about the highest paid athlete in the sport of women's basketball. I would counter that, Fred, and say that the highest paid athlete in women's MMA is paid higher than the top WNBA player.
That's
maybe not now.
That's why they should do MMA instead of playing basketball.
I would say probably somebody like a Valentina Shevchenko, especially Ronda Rousey. Of course, when she was fighting, she was making way over $200,000 per fight. She was making millions of dollars. Today, though, in women's MMA, who's making $200,000 to fight, $200,000 just to show up? You would hope Raquel Pennington, now that she's a champion. I don't know. Thug Rose probably commands some money when she shows up, but I mean, she doesn't fight that often, which is probably why she doesn't fight that often, because she probably makes a good amount of money when she does fight. But as far as like Nunes, but she's retired, who's making money in women's MMA right now? Like Paige Van Zant's off doing OnlyFans, and she's saying she's making way more money doing that than she ever did in any of her MMA fights combined. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could do as much money as well if we were on it, man. So let me tell you.
But Fred, let's also not pretend that a lot of and I would say most of men's MMA is also below the $200,000 mark per fight. Maybe not per year.
Depends who. Yeah.
I mean, it depends who. There's a lot of guys that are making like $100,000 a fight. You do 2-3 fights a year, you're making over that. But
I just saw something come in by Johnny. But women's wrestling, I mean, he's just saying that Becky and Charlotte make $1 million a year.
As they should. You know? They should make
not
more.
Bad.
When it's
but
negotiation
that's recent,
time.
I think, because I remember not so long ago, they weren't that high. I remember when they negotiated those recent. So, yeah, sports are adapting, but it's all about revenues also. So WNBA doesn't have that much revenue, unfortunately. So they're not that high on salary. And women's MMA, well, I mean, if you could sell, if you're popular, you're gonna make more money. It's the same thing for the man or the female. So,
yeah,
true, good point. But man, that was a terrible breaking news start, man, for Ringside. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
Caitlin Clark.
Terrible,
I don't know.
Man.
It kind of threw us off. Started talking about women's basketball. I don't know much about it.
I was gonna say something, but it's too controversial, and AJ cannot.
Say it, Freddie.
AJ cannot
say it.
No,
AJ can't handle it. Should we mute AJ?
Come on,
do you want to mute AJ to say it, Fred?
No, because I can't say it. Period. Because it's not gonna come off good.
Freddie.
Okay.
Man, everybody wants to hear it now. You can't.
I'll say it
let
after
people hang
after
like
the
that,
show.
dude.
I'll say it later.
No, man. Who cares about after the show, man?
All right, AJ.
Man, I thought you were going to say like the main card was going to be canceled or something.
That's what I thought was happening. When he said it's going to be, I've got breaking news to start the show, and you guys aren't going to like it, I was like, is Volk hurt or something? What happened? Did something happen to the UFC?
No, I mean, you're really not going to like it.
I did not like it. I kind of liked it. I was like, oh, that's cool. How many points does she have, Fred?
Not sure, 3,000 something.
Wow.
Because like they've been talking about her recently because she's getting close, and I watched her on Sunday or just before the Super Bowl. She had a game. She scored like 32, and she was 8 points shy. Now she had a game, man, and she started the game and she scored the first 8 points of her team. Boom, took like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Caitlin Clark.
They were giving her the ball. They're just feeding her the ball. Like, do it. Just get it done. That's cool. Well, good for her. But, yeah. Really threw me off. Like,
NASCAR is playing at the same time, so I might throw you off a little more. So
what? Do you see the Yankees
it's
started
like
reporting to spring training? Everybody's showing up to spring training? Yeah. Getting ready.
All
tuned
overweight,
in.
I imagine.
Pitchers
They're
and
all
catchers have all... No, they all showed up looking fantastic. I tweeted a picture of Marcus Stroman looking very cool today. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. Those guys are, like, not in the best shape.
That's not true.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about? Not true. Look at that guy. You saying that guy's not in good shape? That guy's in good shape. Marcus Stroman, pitcher for the Yankees, new pitcher, wearing a Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirt and a 1996 Yankees champions hat. What? That guy's in shape. Stop being disrespectful.
So what, tattoos are allowed for the Yankees? It's just like facial hair that they're not allowed, long hair?
Well, you can't tell anybody to remove all their tattoos. You just can't have facial hair or long hair if you play for the Yankees. You got to have a clean look, even if you're all tatted up. Still clean cut. It's part of the tradition of being a Yankee, It's better.
Yeah, but cocaine is allowed, so that's great.
What?
Come on.
That's not allowed. How dare you?
Steroids.
Terrible.
Whatever gives them the edge, Dave.
Everybody wants to attack the Yankees because the Yankees are the greatest baseball team of all time. They're the greatest sports franchise of all time. And I take a lot of heat because I love the Yankees and I'm not afraid of who knows it. I love the Yankees so much, and people give me all sorts of stuff. People talk shit to me. Johnny North does it on the internet. All sorts of people want to attack me for my love for the Yankees, and they want to attack all Yankee fans because they're jealous, because it's the greatest franchise in professional sports. They are the greatest baseball team ever. They're probably going to win a 28th World Series, which is, yes, the record for World Series. The Yankees currently hold at 27. You know who's in second place? Fred, you want to guess?
First loser?
St. Louis Cardinals.
Dodgers.
St. Louis Cardinals. Guess how many they have?
12 at the most,
How
not
many?
even.
11. Compared to 27 for the Yankees. 27. People just are hating because they're great. They're by far the greatest. By far. Like, the margin is gigantic.
I mean, Real Madrid has like 14 Champions League, and I think the second with the most has 4 or 5. So
yeah,
Real Madrid has like 3 times more Champions League than its second guy.
Yeah, but Fred, that's soccer.
Better than a Yankee.
That's soccer.
Just saying, man.
Yeah, but it also goes with the pockets too, eh? That's the problem with these clubs, man. They have such deep pockets that they can get some of the best players and put out the best on the pitch, you know?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to work for the Yankees.
Soccer, just like football, completely rigged. I told you that football was fixed. I told you that the NFL love the Kansas City Chiefs. I've never heard of any of the players on the other team. I don't even remember who the other team was, and I watched some of the game. I watched to see when the second quarter would finally be over, so I was kind of paying attention, and then I watched Usher, and I loved it, and then I watched the rest of the game to see what would happen, because it was kind of a close game, and I was saying that this was all rigged, this was all fake, because I don't know any of the players on the San Francisco 49ers. I just remember the team, but I do know Patrick Mahomes, because he's always there, because he's the new Tom Brady for the NFL. He's the new main star. When John Cena goes away, here comes Roman Reigns, and that's who Patrick Mahomes is in the NFL. He's taken over the #1 spot. He's always in the Super Bowls. He wins all the Super Bowls, and that guy Travis Kelce's famous because he's having sex with Taylor Swift, you know? And, like, everybody loves Taylor Swift, and everybody loves that Travis Kelce guy because he's having sexual relations with her, I think, maybe. Or maybe it's fake. Who knows? And, you know, it was just clear from the start that the Chiefs are going to win. Even when it went to overtime, I was like, come on. It's all fake.
What are you talking about, man?
You know?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No. You're totally
never
wrong.
in
First
doubt.
of all, you missed out on the AJ. You missed out on the AJ Ringside Report Super Bowl party that everybody attended.
Was mad about it. AJ, I know about this because Johnny North sent me videos of Angelo reacting to my tweets about this. And I might even be able to show you some of these videos of Angelo reacting to me saying that
Fuck you, Dave.
football was fake. Yeah, he called me a bastard, I think. I saw you,
That's
Angelo.
it?
You watched the Super Bowl with Johnny North and Angelo. I kind of wonder what you guys thought about Usher. I mean, I assume you didn't like it.
Listen,
but hold on. No, before you tell me something, AJ, hang on. I'm going to show you the video of Angelo.
Let's go, Big Ange.
So this is Angelo
Let's make
reacting
sure I'm
to
wearing
me,
pants. Hopefully I'm not
angry about me. Because I said wrestling is real, football is fake. So then Angelo read this out to you and Johnny recorded this. And here is Angelo angrily. I'm showing it, Angelo. He said don't show it. It's too late.
Is it safe for the kids?
Oh, can I show it? Yeah, he says don't show it. Or should I just play the audio? He doesn't want me to show it. Should I show it? You can barely see anything. You can't really see anything.
Man.
It's a quick clip.
Let's see it. Let's see this.
Bastard. Listen. Bastard. I heard that, Angelo.
We had a good time, man. Good time.
Bastard.
And on top of it all, I'd like to say that Angelo finally got his Bet 99 t-shirt. Everybody's happy. There was no fights, except, man, like, you know, I'll be honest, man. The 49ers were like, you know, it just sucks for them, man, because I thought they played a better game. Mahomes and fucking Taylor Swift, That was driving me nuts. It was just driving me crazy. If I know some people that were doing a drinking game and they got smashed because they had to drink to every time they saw Taylor
That's
or
ridiculous.
they heard the word
That's
Taylor,
ridiculous.
they had to drink. Dude, they were smashed. It was
But-
nonstop, man. Taylor Swift,
but-
football.
but
Taylor
wait,
Swift,
wait.
whatever.
Oh my God! Wait, you're complaining about
wait,
Taylor
wait.
Swift? Wait, are you one of these
But
guys
wait.
that complains about Taylor Swift? Is that what's
I wanna
happening,
say
AJ?
something.
Yeah.
I wanna
Oh
say
my
something.
God!
Yeah, man.
That's
During
crazy.
the
She's
game,
What's
I
wrong with
read
you?
that like the whole combined time she spent
Yeah.
on TV is like a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
they show
God.
her for 2 seconds, and then for another 5 seconds, yeah, they go off into her. Come on, man.
They
showed her
always
for, like, a
show
minute.
the famous. They always show the famous wife or girlfriend
Yeah.
of the star player during the game. That
Not that
always
much,
happens.
dude. Not
And
that much.
when that famous one happens to be one of the most famous people walking planet Earth today, at least in the United States, I mean, they're going to show her a lot, AJ, and I can't believe you are
No,
one of
man,
these
no.
dudes complaining about it. You don't even watch football. The only complaint I had about them
I
showing
couldn't
Taylor
take it.
Swift so much was they only showed Jay-Z and the Queen Beyonce one time. They're like, oh, Jay-Z
Hey,
and
listen,
Beyonce
man.
are here. Yo, you showed I don't care if they don't have anybody on the field. If Jay-Z and Beyonce are there, I want to see them more than one time. Also, Kanye was there. They didn't show Kanye at all because
He got
I
kicked
think
out.
no,
They
he didn't
kicked
get
out-
kicked out.
he
That's
got
not
kicked
true.
out.
No, he didn't. That's
Taylor
fake
kicked him out,
internet
man.
news.
I
That's
believe
fake
it.
internet news.
No,
He
no,
went to
no,
somebody
I
else's
believe it.
box. He left his seats and went somewhere else. He didn't get kicked out. You think they're going to kick Kanye West out of the Super Bowl? Are you crazy?
Taylor's bigger than him, apparently, according to
Oh,
the
God.
Taylor fans.
Yeah, that's fake internet news that you believe because you believe all these stupid rumors that are on the internet. You see a meme and you take it as fact. What's your source, AJ?
Listen, man, I
a
don't
fucking
give a shit.
meme? Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Doesn't matter. They were showing
No.
too much Taylor Swift shit. I wanted to watch the football game. Talk to Angelo. Talk to Johnny, man. It was
You
too
just
much of
wants
that
to watch
shit.
football because
And
you're
to be
such
honest,
a big
the
football fan
49ers
because you
got
watch
ripped.
so much football. Shut up, dude.
I just
What are you
want to say,
saying?
Dave, man,
Hey,
I
listen,
want to
man,
go back
take
to
that
your
shit off,
Usher
motherfucker.
opinion, man. I mean, the show
Yeah,
was decent of Usher, but it wasn't that
was
good,
a
man,
7 out of
because
10.
he sang 14 songs, which is way too much, and most of them he only spent like 10 seconds or whatever on it, man. I don't know, man. I would have liked a
Freddie.
little more. Plus, he didn't sing My Way or You Remind Me. So, yeah, it was decent, but it wasn't great. It could have been better.
Listen,
I thought
man,
it was
he
pretty
started
good.
off the
That's
I
song-
liked it.
he
I
started
liked
off
all the
song
songs.
pretty-
I thought the performance was fantastic. I love seeing Lil Jon and Ludacris. I thought it was great. Jermaine Dupri, when Jermaine Dupri was there, I was like, what? That was good.
Well, they did a
JD
little.
was there.
They did a little tribute to Michael Jackson. I'll give him that much credit, but he could have performed like MJ. I'll tell you that much. But I'm going to tell you something, Dave. When he first came out, he had a problem with the mic, the background music, like or singers, like you couldn't hear them. There was a bit of technical problems, and then you had the roller skate people and some pole dancer that fell down and
They're
probably
probably
broke her back.
lip-syncing.
I mean, there was a lot of.
It's crazy,
Yeah,
No,
AJ.
they weren't. They were
Like,
live, man.
everything you're saying to me right now, it's like you have the worst opinions of the internet. You know, like all the like comments that I see where I'm like, really? Who's thinking this? It's you. You are the one. It's you and the people like you somehow. I
Listen,
don't
man,
understand.
Michael Jackson was the better performer.
Sure.
Sorry, man, hands down.
Sure.
Listen, man, don't ask me. Ask
His
Johnny.
halftime
Who's on
show
the-
wasn't
who's on the
even
track?
that great, man. You're just talking out of your
Eh?
ass.
Yeah. You just
I mean,
It
but when
wasn't
Michael
great.
Jackson did the halftime show, it wasn't what it
Oh,
is
it was
today. It
amazing.
was just like it was decent, but it's not the spectacle that it is today. Go watch it on YouTube. It's available.
there you go, AJ.
Yeah, but can't perform like Michael, man.
I like Usher.
Anyways,
I
it was
enjoyed
alright.
it.
It was like, look, I gave it a 7. I think we gave it a 7.2 or something like that, or 7.3 on 10. I mean,
That sounds
it
fair.
was okay.
Well, I like the
Oh,
Usher
7.
music. I like all those songs. I thought it was very cool to see those guys performing on that type of stage. I thought it was a cool moment for hip-hop, Atlanta hip-hop. I thought that was a cool moment.
It's
I
true,
thought that
man.
was very cool. So I was
I
happy
just
for
forgot
them.
about that.
I was pleased with the performance. I enjoyed it. But I think that it was kind of designed for people my age.
I mean, we're the
Man, we
target
called
for
it. I'm going
the
to tell you
Super
this,
Bowl.
Dave. Listen,
No,
On
but
Sunday,
that
we called
performance,
this.
I feel like, was designed. Like, I think you guys are a little too old to be into Usher.
because
like
he didn't
that.
play. He didn't play his early hits, man.
Yeah, he played all the songs that I wanted to hear. You know, like
We
I was
called
like, yeah,
it, man.
yeah.
Johnny, we were right, Johnny. Johnny, we were
But
right.
you know what?
We said David's
I
going to
wanted-
say this was a great performance, man.
Mm-hmm. I like
We
that.
knew
song.
it, man.
I was right
my
up my
favorite
alley.
Usher song is "My Way," but before the Super Bowl, I had my doubts that he would play it because the lyrics to his "My Way," you know, they're a little bit out there. So I'm not sure it would have been accepted for TV. You know,
He's got a lot of good songs, a lot of hits, a lot of
He
hits.
was okay, man. He was good. I can't say much, but Angelo walked out. He didn't want to hear nothing about Usher. Johnny didn't
walked
like
out.
Usher.
Walked out of the performance.
He walked out, man. Did you see my video I sent you?
I don't know if I saw that part. Why did he walk out? Just disgusted
You don't know
by
nothing
Usher.
about Usher, right?
Wow.
Yeah, he wasn't. He just like, I'm not listening to this guy, man. I'm out. And he took off, man. And he came right back when the football game started. I'm telling you, man, it was hardcore. And we all said, I bet you Dave is gonna say this was a great performance. 7.2 on our scale, man.
Yeah.
I agree.
You don't really like that kind of music, AJ, and neither does Johnny. I don't know what
Well, I
Angelo's
like the
taste
song
in
from
music is.
Hangover.
but- What?
The Hangover song, that was good.
I don't know what song you're talking about. He has a song
You
in
know
Hangover.
which one? Hey,
Yeah.
Freddie.
Is it Yeah?
I'm not sure.
I
I'm
know,
not sure.
man.
Is it Make Love in the Club? That song? That's a good one.
Sounds familiar.
Is it?
Sounds familiar.
In the club, yeah, tremendous.
But-
Another one
but
with Lil Jon and
unfortunately,
Ludacris.
But unfortunately, Kanye West got kicked out, man. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
not true.
Sucks.
That's not true, AJ. Kanye
And who's the
said
girl
himself
that was-
it's not true.
You don't know that?
Who's
Did
the
Kanye
girl that
actually
was
say
sitting
that?
with Taylor Swift? Ice Spice, whatever.
Some
Yes.
Satanist or something like that.
Oh, there
She
you go.
was
I knew
doing
AJ
Satan-
was going to say that she believed
She
in
was
Satan.
doing
Of course. Yes,
satanic
sure.
symbols. I'm just saying she
The
did say
worst
that.
opinions of the internet. You guys have, like, I see these things pass on the internet and I go, who's buying this bullshit? It's AJ. AJ believes
not-
it, and sometimes Fred does too. AJ
I'm
believes
just saying
all
she
of
did
it. Fred believes
I
some
don't
of it.
say I don't believe in the symbol. I'm just saying she did the symbol. I don't think the
She did, man.
Like, I'm not
Exactly.
symbol-minded.
Thank you, Freddie.
I don't
It's
know
like
what
she
the
did this
symbol
whole, like,
is.
you know?
Some sort of
Now,
like
Freddie, you want me to do the symbol for Dave?
something like this. I would do
Oh,
it.
AJ.
I would do it
It's like
because
kind of like,
because-
can you see the camera there? Where's the camera?
cool.
Kind of one of these things.
I'll do it.
That's not cool, man.
What's that? I don't know whatever it is, I'll do it. I'm not worried about it because it's nothing. It's not a symbol
'Cause you're
of
not
the,
symbol-minded.
the devil. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
exactly.
symbol-minded like some people. Ridiculous.
Man, oh man, it was all in that football game, man.
She did do it.
I saw it, Freddie. We saw it, man. We're like, something is off. But you see what I'm saying? Instead of showing the football game, they're showing Taylor Swift and the Satanists. I mean, come on, man.
The
Show the game. I
Satanists.
want to watch the game.
See, AJ,
You know?
if you knew anything about Ice Spice, you wouldn't be speaking of her so
Who?
poorly
Is that her
because
name?
you've never
Yeah, I'm
seen
not
Is
sure
that Old
about that.
Spice's
Yeah.
daughter?
you've never
'Cause
seen
I
her
think-
before.
Yeah, but some of her songs
What
seem
is
a
she?
little like
Oh, she's
too
a
much
singer.
for me.
She's
So,
a rapper.
I don't know. Yeah.
What is she? Is she like? Is she part of the Spice Girls?
No.
The daughter of the Spice Girls?
No.
Maybe.
Not related
at
to
all.
Old Spice. Like how? She's stealing material too, dude. Ice Spice. I know the Spice Girls. Come on, be original. Devil worshiper.
I think something's happening here, AJ. Either you're getting older or I'm getting younger, but there's like a problem here. There's the distance now between us is getting too far. I don't know what's going on.
It's a good thing you didn't come to the football game. Man,
I'm here to
because with Johnny and Angelo there, it was like all the same
the
time.
gap.
Yeah, you are here to bridge the gap, Fred. You help me understand
Freddie's like the
AJ,
stopper,
and you
man.
help AJ understand me.
It's true. That's true.
God.
But she was a Satanist, Dave. I'm sorry to say, Freddie agreed with me on that, and I agree with Freddie.
I don't know if she. No, I
It was
don't
a
know if
bit
she's
weird.
a Satanist. She just did the symbol, as did I.
NWO, brother. Too sweet.
Sweet.
Yeah. I don't know.
love Rock, man.
I don't really believe in Satanists.
Hey,
I think
should
if
take
you're
that screenshot of AJ and make it the new whatever when AJ goes there.
I love rock and roll, man. Satanist.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I don't believe in Satan. You know what I mean? Like as a concept. So the Satanist thing, all that's on the internet, like I think AJ believes in that, right?
People say they were married to one.
Like that whole idea of like people worshiping Satan and that being a thing to worry about, that doesn't worry me at all. I feel like if people are worshiping Satan, they are wasting their time because they're doing imaginary nonsense, and it's fine. Let them do it. You know, if people are worshiping anything, I say let them do it. It's fine. You know, it's not going to hurt anybody.
When I go to jiu-jitsu, I pass in front of this place that's called like Sonata Temple or something, and every time I'm like, is that a Satan temple? But no, it's not a Satan temple. It's some other type of religion. But let's move on to UFC 298.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, let's do it.
Yeah, let's stop talking about Satan for some reason, AJ.
Caitlin Clark, Satan.
Fucking AJ. Seriously,
Caitlin
like you have
Clark,
all the worst meme opinions are like just coming from AJ. It's crazy. It's all fake too.
Oh,
like
happy Valentine's, by the way. That's true. Just got a comment come in. That's right.
Okay. UFC 298. Let's fucking get to that. Let's do that, shall we? Alex Volkanovski, Ilia Topuria. It's the main event. It's the featherweight title.
Man.
These fights in Anaheim, California. They're going outside of Las Vegas for these ones. But Joe Rogan is going to be on the call. I did hear that Rogan will be there in attendance. So a rare non-Vegas pay-per-view for Joe Rogan. It should be Rogan and John Anik and Daniel Cormier on the call on Saturday. But don't listen to them. Listen to us instead. We're more fun. We will be on here Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time for the UFC 298 watch-along, and it's free. So if you're not watching the pay-per-view, or even if you are, you can watch it with us. And if you're not watching, we will keep you updated with what's going on with all the fights, starting with the first fight of the night on the pay-per-view, which will be Anthony Hernandez versus Roman Kopylov. And then we start off the big fights right after that with Henry Cejudo versus Merab Dvalishvili, Jeff Neal taking on Ian Machado Gary, Paulo Costa versus Robert Whittaker in our co-main event, and then Volkanovski and Topuria in the main for the UFC Featherweight Championship. Yeah. It's a good pay-per-view. And AJ's favorite, Mackenzie Dern, on the prelims, taking on Amanda Lemos. Ooh. Rinya Nakamura, one of the top prospects at bantamweight, takes on Carlos Vera on the prelims as well. 8-0, Rinya Nakamura, an excellent wrestler. Very, very impressive stuff. This guy's just 28, and I'm looking forward to his fight against Vera. And also, Marcos Rogerio de Lima against Justin Tafa at heavyweight should be fun to watch. They're opening the night with Andrea Lee and Miranda Maverick. First prelim, first fight, Miranda Maverick, Andrea Lee. I mean, it's a solid pay-per-view. UFC's doing it right here on the road to 300. This one, UFC 298, looking very good. Let's start with the main event, Volkanovski, Topuria. Fred, you weren't with us last week. AJ and I kind of talked about this fight, broke it down. We were feeling like Topuria was the guy in this one. 27 years old, 14-0, coming off victories over Ryan Hall, Jai Herbert, Bryce Mitchell, and Josh Emmett. He's looking like possibly the next champion. He's very confident. And it might be his time. Volkanovski, 35 years old, coming off a knockout loss in October to Islam Makhachev. Volkanovski 26-3 now as a professional, but the 2 losses in the UFC at 155 pounds, both to the reigning champion Islam Makhachev. And then the other loss that he suffered, that was the 4th fight in his pro career, and it was at welterweight in a tournament, so it barely counts. The only 2 losses of his, real career where it really got started are to Islam Makhachev at 155. He's undefeated at featherweight. Volkanovski and Topuria both undefeated at featherweight. Volkanovski has beat Holloway, Ortega, Korean Zombie, Chad Mendes, Jose Aldo, Yair Rodriguez. The list goes on and on. But when the list goes on and on, that's when you start to wonder, well, how long can this go? He's 35 years old. He's coming off a loss. He's beat the best of the best. He's the best featherweight ever in MMA. How long can this run last? And can this young, undefeated, cocky Spanish man, Ilia Topuria, come in and dethrone the Australian Volkanovski? I am less confident in Topuria now than I was last week. I will say that.
Really?
I am less confident. Especially, and again, I said it last week, you got to check back with me next Thursday when we do the official preview to give you my official pick, because I need to hear them talk fight week. I need to see the mentality. I need to see how they're approaching the fight. And Volkanovski seems primed and ready for another title defense. He seems like he knows what's going on in this fight, and Topuria seems like he's getting ahead of himself, like he's looking at the prize before the task. And that is a dangerous thing to do in sports. You have to focus on the task, and a lot of times ignore the prize. It's very difficult to ignore the prize. The prize is always there. You want the prize. Everybody wants the prize, but it's not about being the champion. It's about beating the champion. It's about doing the work. It's about staying focused on the task at hand. And Topuria's walking around with the belt already, taking pictures with the belt, acting like he's a champion already. But he's not. Because all he did was beat Josh Emmett in a decision in his last fight. All he did was beat Bryce Mitchell. He has not defeated the best of the best. He has not defeated Brian Ortega, who he says he won't defend the title against when he's champion. He's already picking his shots as champion. He's looking past Alexander Volkanovski. In many ways, it seems like Topuria is looking past Volkanovski and looking towards his future as being the UFC featherweight champion. He might be. It might happen. But I don't like the vibe from Topuria this week. And I like the way Volkanovski is approaching the fight. It seems a lot more professional, a lot more measured, and a lot more confident. Topuria doesn't seem confident. Even though he seems like he's looking past Volkanovski, it doesn't ring as confidence. It rings as inexperience. Volkanovski seems confident. With the experience, with the knowledge, he seems very confident going into this fight. It was a pick'em fight last week. I will give you the latest odds on it right now. And Volkanovski,
it's a tough card, man.
Interesting. See, last week, pick'em. This week, I said I'm more confident in Volkanovski. This week, Volkanovski minus 125, Topuria plus 105. So now Volkanovski is a slight favorite, which is funny because I'm feeling in that way too. I think the tide has changed a little bit because we've seen Volk and we've seen him confident and looking strong and looking in shape and looking like the Volkanovski who defends the title time and time again. I'm going with Volk.
If he's focused, man.
I'm going with Volk.
If he's focused, Dave.
Yeah.
with Islam, he was saying that he was drinking and he was, he's a family man. There was a lot of like factors that, you know, didn't keep him up to like peak performance. But he was saying like he was drinking all the time. I was listening to Bisping talking, and he was like, maybe he wasn't taking it serious and whatnot. But he's 35 years old, man. As we know, at 35 at that division, man, it's hard. Father Clock is ticking, and he's coming up against, man, a rhinoceros. And yeah, the guy is cocky. But I've heard him in the interviews like several times in the last couple of weeks. Rhinoceros. But I'm going to tell you, man, he is like, he's charged, this guy. This guy is like, in his mind, he's destined to be champion. He feels he's the champion. He's got everything, man. He's 14-0, man. He's 6-0 in the UFC. I mean, the guy has everything. He's like, he's the future, but he
doesn't have the title yet.
He doesn't have the title
as if
yet.
He has it.
I'm not. But the thing is that you're right. He's acting like he is the champion. But that says a lot too. I mean, he's going in there and he wants to back up everything. I mean,
so is Topuria the new McGregor? Where when McGregor came up and he was talking all that shit, felt super confident, and he actually did it against Jose Aldo. So can Topuria be the new McGregor and actually do it and not just be somebody that talks a lot? I personally never picked Topuria. I've always had Volkanovski, and I'm sticking to Volkanovski because this guy's like one of the greatest. It's the greatest featherweight champion of the history. It's him, Aldo, maybe Holloway. And I mean, Volkanovski is in the discussion for a top 10 guy all time, all weight class, no matter what weight class. So yeah, I'm not going to pick against Volkanovski. I'm going to pick Volkanovski until he loses. I don't see anybody in that division that really merits me going away from Volkanovski. And at Topuria, like, nice win against Josh Emmett. I respect that. That's a good win. His win against Bryce Mitchell, I mean, I'm a big Mitchell fan, but if you look in retrospect, Mitchell might have been a little overrated, overhyped. So I need Topuria to do it against some real guy, and Volkanovski is another level. Like, so he's never faced somebody like Volkanovski, whereas Volkanovski has always faced the top guy in his division. I'm going to go with Volk. I got Volk on that one.
AJ, you got Topuria? Sticking with Topuria?
Man, it's hard because, look, I don't want to go against Volk, man. And Volk is probably one of the greatest fighters of that division. He got, he lost to Islam. But, like, he wasn't prepared, apparently, in his last fight, as he didn't take it serious. But, when you start looking at guys that he's beat, like Holloway, three wins. But it's not like Holloway is at, we haven't seen him fight in a long time. It's just there's something that I worry about is, listen, Topuria is young.
We've seen Holloway fight not long ago. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I'm just saying he's not like the Holloway of the past where like it's such I don't find
yes,
it
he
the
is.
same, Dave.
I disagree. Yeah. I disagree. Max Holloway is still the second best featherweight in the UFC, and the fact that anybody gets a title shot without having to beat Max Holloway first, I think, shows that the UFC is a little bit scared, because they need the challengers, and they know that no one's going to beat Holloway other than Volkanovski. That's how good Volkanovski is. Holloway's beating everybody.
100%.
He's beating everybody at 145 pounds. He's beating Frankie Edgar, Calvin Kattar, Yair, Arnold Allen, Korean Zombie, retired the Korean Zombie. I mean, Holloway, the way he beat up Arnold Allen, everybody was like, oh, Arnold Allen, here he comes, new challenger, undefeated, this and that. Holloway, demolished him. It was like, oh, my God, Holloway is still the man. Holloway is still the man. He's so much the man that he's going up to 155 to fight Gaethje at UFC 300. Because they're like, yeah, we need something for Holloway because he's incredible. We got to get him out of 145 because as a gatekeeper for Volkanovski, he's undefeated. But against Volkanovski, he can't get a win. That's how good Volkanovski is. He's the cream of the crop.
Listen, he has to survive those first, the first early rounds, man. And if he can survive that, maybe he has a chance to go to the decision. But I'm telling you, man, Topuria, you know what? I was going back and forth because this card is one of the hardest cards to really pick. It's a pick 'em, really. It can go either or, and even this, like, it's hard for me to go against Volk. But I really think Topuria is going to really back up everything he says. And I think it's going to be look, it's going to be a hard one. But if Volk is not prepared, he's in a world of trouble on Saturday.
Well, but he's prepared.
But Volk is prepared. That's the thing. I saw pictures of, like, before his fight against Makhachev, which he took on short notice, and pictures of him now, and it's not at all the same guy. Plus, at 145, he's really cut. Volkanovski's a stud, man. He's been there. He's been champ for 4 or 5 years now, man. Come on, man.
And he took Islam Makhachev to the limit. When he was prepared, this is a man that is good enough to take Islam Makhachev to the absolute limit, to the point where people think Volk beat him. That's how good Volk is. I'm not ready to count him out. I was thinking, maybe this is a bad time taking the fight now. But it's been like 5 months. I think he's good. I think he's ready because he talks.
He looks prepared.
He talks like he's ready. He seems ready. He feels ready. I got Volkanovski.
Look, man, 2023, a lot of champs, lost their position. I think 2024 is going to be.
He's going to lose at some point. But he's going to lose at some point. But I'm going to pick him until he loses.
Ooh.
And I
don't know about that.
On Saturday.
I think he's going to lose at some point. I'm just not going to pick him to lose here.
At 145, yeah, I'm picking him.
He might lose. He might not lose at 145, honestly. Yeah. Ever.
Well,
like, he could retire as champion. He could. He is the greatest featherweight of all time. I have no doubt that if Alexander Volkanovski didn't exist, Max Holloway would still be the featherweight champion. Still.
Yeah, because I think Holloway's better than Yair, and
he beat him.
Yeah,
he beat everybody. All the top challengers, Holloway already beat. Holloway's beat everybody. That's why they didn't put Topuria up against Holloway, because they're like, well, we got this kid. He's undefeated. He's making some noise. Let's not have him fight Max Holloway, because then Holloway will beat him, and then we won't have a challenger for Volkanovski. But really, if you look at the rankings and the way that the featherweight division is designed, you should kind of have to fight Holloway if you want a shot at Volkanovski.
But that's the thing. Holloway fucks up the plans.
Yeah.
Like the UFC, they want to keep they want contenders for Volkanovski, and if Holloway just keeps beating them, that kills matchups. So I understand them not wanting to match him against Holloway.
Like, I understand they fought 3 times and Volkanovski won all 3 times, but some of them were close, and I think at some point they should fight again. Like, that might be next. Depends what happens with Holloway and Gaethje, but that might be next for Volk. We'll see. Whittaker, Paulo Costa, co-main event.
That's going to be crazy, man.
I'm pretty confident, man. I'm going with Robert Whittaker.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think the only thing that scares me is Whittaker losing to Dricus in his last fight. And when you start losing in this sport, sometimes, the other losses follow. But other than that, I feel Robert Whittaker is a better fighter than Paulo Costa on every level. Like, he's a better striker. I think his wrestling is better. I think his conditioning is probably better, even though Costa looks great. Robert Whittaker is a fighter, man. Robert Whittaker is able to go rounds and win rounds and all that. So I got Robert Whittaker, and I'll give you my parlay right away. It's easy. It's Volkanovski and Whittaker. That's my parlay for Saturday, and I'm pretty confident in Robert Whittaker. I think if you look at Paulo Costa's track record, it's not that impressive. There's a lot of inactivity. Mm-hmm. There's like, I remember when he defeated Johnny Hendricks, I went like, oh, wow, this guy's incredible. He might be the next champ. But then you look in retrospect, and Johnny Hendricks was pretty much done at that point. So, he beat up a washed-up Johnny Hendricks. Who else did he beat? So I'm not too confident in Paulo Costa. And great character, great personality. but Robert Whittaker is a fighter.
Sign up right now at bet99.ringsidereport.net, bet99.ringsidereport.net, and sign up through our link and go with Team Fred. 20 gets you 51 with a 2-fight parlay over at bet99.com. It's a plus 155 parlay for Team Fred. Robert Whittaker minus 240. Alex Volkanovski minus 125. Nice co-main and main event parlay from El Freddy. I got a similar parlay. I think I'm just going to add to it. Make it a little spicier. I'm going to add our good buddy on the next fight, Ian Machado Gary. The Irish-Brazilian Ian Machado Gary, ready to go to war. From Ireland, people think he's like Conor McGregor, but he's actually from Team Shoot the Box with Charles Oliveira and Damian Maia and the gang out in Brazil. He's training there. He's living there, and he's speaking Portuguese, and he's living that Brazil lifestyle, and he's coming with Irish heat and Brazilian flavor, and he's a minus 225 favorite over Jeff Neal. I think Ian Machado Gary has got this one wrapped up. He is on fire. He is angry. People are talking about him. People are talking about his wife and his children, and he's not taking it lying down. Ian Machado Gary is coming for the win, and that's going to be a 3-fight parlay for Team Dave. It's going to be the 2 fights for Fred, and then it's going to be the 3rd fight, an added bonus from Team Dave. Alex Volkanovski, I'll let you talk about Ian Machado Gary in a second, Fred. I know you have a lot to say about cuckolding and whatever. Alex Volkanovski, Robert Whittaker, and Ian Machado Gary. $20 gets you 73.67. It's a plus 268 parlay over at bet99.ringsidereport.net. The Team Dave parlay. Ian Gary, Robert Whittaker, Alex Volkanovski. Fred, Ian Machado Gary.
I too think he's gonna win, but I just don't want to pick him because I don't want to be cheering for him. He's kind of a little bit of a annoying person, and my only thing I would hope is that Jeff Neal, I might have to try to contact him and tell him like he needs to come out to the Bismarcky Classic, just a friend, ask the crowd to sing along to it. Dave might be too young and not know that classic song.
Are you kidding me? You think I don't know that? You think I don't know about Bismarcky?
Just a friend.
Come on, man. You got what I need. Tremendous. Come on. I know about hip hop.
I know he's just a friend.
Yeah. You can't catch me on hip hop. Like old music, old rock music, like yeah, all right, I won't know that, but anything hip hop from the past 50 years of hip hop, if it was big, if it's well known, I'm going to know what the hell's going on. I'm aware of hip hop.
Jeff Neal, come out to Bismarcky. Come on, do it.
Why? But I don't get why.
Ask the crowd to sing along.
Why?
Just to make fun of because you talked about cockholding and all that, just to have a little fun on all that.
But it's not true, and it's just he's got a wife. The man has a wife, and people are like, oh, he's taking his wife's husband's last name, and that's not true. And then his wife's husband lives with him. That's not true. It's just like a bunch of stuff that went out on the internet that Sean Strickland mostly put out and just wasn't true. AJ believed it, but it wasn't true, Like, that's the thing. A lot of things are out there. They're in memes. Fighters then see it and then repeat it as fact.
What isn't true?
And then other people believe it.
Isn't his nutritionist his ex-wife, his husband?
I don't think so.
I
don't think so. I think they said all that stuff isn't true. They're like, no, it's not. None of it is true.
There might be some truth.
Fuck off.
There's no.
I go, none of it is true. And then AJ fucking in the corner.
Even if
there might be some truth. What are you saying, man? There might be some truth. Yeah, there might be some truth.
You never know, Dave.
You never know.
Listen, man, I'm going to tell you something.
That's AJ. That's your whole basis of knowledge. That's how you approach life. You never know. It might be true. You can't Satan might exist, Dave. You never know. Like, aliens descended. Maybe Raelians are the one true faith, Dave. You never know. Maybe that Rael knew what he was talking about. You never know.
I met the Raelians. They're pretty cool group, man. Listen.
Yeah, you almost got sucked in.
Big fan.
George, I feel like is a Raelian. After watching the Raelians documentary on Netflix, hearing all about Rael, remembering the Raelians that used to inhabit Quebec and have now been mostly exiled, but I think it's funny that there are descendants of Raelians walking amongst us. Like, that is hilarious to me.
Raelians.
But, Raelians, I think George might be a Raelian. Maybe his parents were Raelians. That's why he believes in the Raelians.
Most strippers were Raelians in Montreal, I'll tell you that much.
Really?
George.
I'm not joking on that.
Oh.
You know, because Raelians, they believe that guy Rael, went aboard a spspaceship and told them that he was Jesus' brother. It's crazy.
He used to be a professional race car driver.
Yeah.
And then
that documentary on Netflix was amazing because there's so many of those people. So many of those people were in Quebec, you know? So it's like,
of course, man.
There are people out there, man, whose parents were Raelians, you know? And they're walking amongst us. Their parents believed in Rael.
A lot of free love, man, in the Raelians. Listen, I wasn't joking. A lot of strippers, probably the majority of them were Raelians, man, back in the days.
I don't know
why
you're making that connection.
To become a Raelian. Well, I'm telling you for a fact. That I know.
AJ fact.
But let me get back to what you were saying about like the Whittaker and the Paulo Costa, man. There he is. Look at that handsome devil. Look at this guy.
Dog.
Kind of looks like Krusty the Clown, man.
Yeah.
A mix between
That's
Krusty
quite a look.
And George Constanza.
Quite a look.
Look at that guy. Look at him. What a handsome fellow.
Rael, baby.
There he is.
There he is.
Show the ladies. Forget about him, man. Show the Raelian ladies. Come on, Dave.
All right, give me your stupid parlay, you alien man.
Listen, man, I'm going to tell you one thing with Paulo Costa and Robert Whittaker. There's one thing for sure. This is another hard fight to pick because the thing is that Whittaker has to bully that bully. If he can't do that, it's going to be a rough night. If there's one thing with Paulo Costa, probably not the highest fight IQ, but this guy, man, his striking game and his leg kicking game is so powerful. He could take a beating. I'm not sure Whittaker could sustain a beating. I mean, with Duplessis there, man, it was tough. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a hard one. I'm going the other way, man. And it's hard for me to go against Whittaker, but I think Whittaker, man, is going to have a hard time if he can't bully that bully. And then Saturday night, Paulo Costa's been off since August of 2022. That's been a long time for him to change his game, recondition, rethink his strategy, and I think this guy's going to be very dangerous coming in on Saturday.
Paulo Costa had a really hard time with Luke Rockhold in his last fight. A really hard time.
Luke Rockhold was in top shape too. Come on, Dave. It's not like the guy came in with the.
He retired immediately after the fight.
Sure. Yeah, and then he went into bare knuckles and took a beating there.
I want to give a shout out to Lior, to Angelo, and 12-15% says lock of the week Merab.
Yeah, he's right. I like that.
Not sure, man.
I don't know. I don't think
Merab
you can call anybody a lock against Henry Cejudo. I'm torn on that fight. I feel like Merab is the safe pick. He should win, but Henry Cejudo is no pushover.
You know what scares me is that I saw Merab next. I saw Merab next to Aljamain Sterling, and Sterling is much bigger. Like, Sterling is a huge 135, and I knew that would cause problems to Cejudo. Whereas Merab is more of the frame of Cejudo. Cejudo might actually be a bigger guy than Merab. So I'm staying away from it because, like Dave said, Merab should win, but I'm not 100% convinced on it. I'm going to pick Merab, but I'm staying away from betting this one.
Yeah, I'm not putting that one on my parlay.
Look, I kind of agree with him because Merab, man, he's relentless with his takedowns, and if he keeps that pressure on Cejudo, where Cejudo is just trying to find his game back, I think this is going to be a harder fight for him than anything because it's going to be a total grappling fest, and I think the edge is going to go to Merab on this one. All
right. You got a parlay?
I don't know if it's a lock, but Yeah, I got a parlay, man. Let me spit it out for you.
What? Yeah, what is it? I mean, you can't.
So I'm going with Topuria. I said that
Yeah.
from the beginning. I think Topuria is going to actually be able to back up everything he says. I'm going
Okay.
to go with Paulo Costa. I don't think Whittaker is going to be able to, and it's hard for me to say that, but it's going to be hard to bully like Paulo Costa, especially with like a 2 year, almost a year and a half or more, like absence. You know, Ian Gary, Jeff Neal,
Didn't he
man,
fight
you know,
like last September against? When was
no,
that
last fight
Strickland
was
fight?
August. His last fight
August,
was
so
in
that's
August. August
not a year and a
2022,
half.
man. Well, we're
2022,
2024.
that far?
Yeah, man.
You might be
It's been a
right,
long
man.
time,
You
man.
might be right.
Yeah, usually AJ's right. But I'm going to tell you, that's going to be a tough one, Dave. But I'm going to go on your side with Ian Gary, just because, you know, at 170, man, this guy is a heavy prospect. But you can't, like,
No, you're not right,
you know,
man. He fought in 2023 against Dreykus.
Yeah.
are you sure, man? I thought his last fight was August
course.
2022. Man.
Whittaker?
Yeah, Whittaker
Whittaker.
fought against Dreykus in July 2023.
No, I'm talking about Paulo Costa. I'm saying Paulo
Oh,
Costa.
well,
is
him,
in
it's
yes.
August.
been forever.
Costa fought in August
Yeah, that's what I'm
2022 against Rockhold. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
All right. Can you
So,
get through your
that's what I'm
parlay
saying.
already, AJ? You've given me like 2 fights.
I just said it, man.
Ian Gary,
Listen, so I got
okay?
Ian Gary. Then I'm
Yeah.
going to stay away from the Marab fight. But I'm going to go with Anthony Hernandez, man. I think
Okay.
Anthony Hernandez can win this, and then I'm going to leave it there, man. I'm not going to put down my girlfriend. I'm going to stay away from that.
AJ not
I'm gonna
putting
have to
money
stay.
on Mackenzie Dern. Surprised. She is the underdog, plus 110. Amanda Lemos
Wow,
minus
that Lemos
130.
is the beast, man.
Yeah, I think
Like-
Lemos probably comes through, and I think that's what you're thinking too, and that's why you're not touching
Well,
that fight.
look, listen, if it gets to the ground and if Mackenzie Dern could take her back, she's going to be able to win it. But
Well, of
she has to
course.
get her back. It's going to be hard, man.
Hey, when the world-class jiu-jitsu player takes your back, she's going to be able to maybe beat you. I mean, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But even then,
Lemos,
Mackenzie Dern has taken people's back and struggled to finish, so I don't know. Here is
Yeah, that's fine.
AJ's
You're right.
AJ's parlay. Ilia Topuria, plus 105. Paulo Costa, plus 195. Ian Gary, minus 225. And Anthony Hernandez, minus 240. So he's got the two underdogs there with Topuria and Paulo Costa in the main and co-main, but then going with some favorites with Gary and Hernandez. 20 at plus 1137 gets you $247.50 at bet99.ringsidereport.net. So that is a big return on the Team AJ parlay. Going with
Raelian style.
the Raelians. Classic Raelian parlay from our resident alien, AJ D'Alesio. Freaking alien,
Raelian.
man. Twiggy alien, man. All right. Thanks. We'll be back Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, for the UFC 298 pay-per-view. We'll be watching pay-per-view with you. It'll be
And
fun.
you.
We'll do a watch-along. We'll be on various things. We'll be having things, enjoying ourselves, and doing the thing that we do.
Raelian style. That'd be great,
Raelian
man.
style. Aliens, Raelians, however you want to do it. Yeah, and I'll be back here tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, right after SmackDown with Johnny North to talk about professional wrestling and everything going on in that world. I believe
What's going on?
The Rock and Roman Reigns will be on SmackDown tomorrow night. And I think Cody Rhodes will be there too. So we'll talk about that tomorrow, because I'll be watching that tomorrow night, and then I'll be coming on right after to talk about it, which is pretty fun. I am excited about that because The Rock and the Tribal Chief will be on SmackDown together tomorrow night. Hell yeah. Tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Wrestling Uncensored. We will be killing it with the pro wrestling game tomorrow night. I cannot wait for a big episode of Wrestling Uncensored where I get to talk about The Rock and Roman Reigns being on SmackDown. Very cool. Always a fun time when I get to talk about that kind of stuff. It's good. It doesn't get better than that for me, so I'm excited about that. And we will be back on Saturday night for the UFC 298 watch-along, which will be fun as well. Thank you to everybody tuning in here tonight. Thank you to the members over at join.ringsidereport.net. Thank you for supporting the channel. Angelo Contagonis, Lior, seeing you guys in the chat, and everybody else who supports the channel over at join.ringsidereport.net. We thank you. We appreciate you. And we will see you again tomorrow night right here on the Ringside Report Network.
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word. Please share this episode on whichever social media platform you use. Add a comment below and consider reviewing us on Apple Podcasts. We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net.